Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm JP Tong, and welcome to our new Thursday Paranormal Tales. I have a guest today, and it's a very special guest. And I've never met him before. It was introduced to me by one of my friends, and he is a psychic tarot card reader. A psychic tarot card reader. I am not very sure how that's going to work, so I'm going to explore with him in front of all of you what that means. But what I know is that he's very popular, and many people have actually met up with him to seek for guidance, to seek for healing, and to basically help them overcome certain challenges in their life. All right, so let's welcome our special guest tonight, Mr. Nikalaos Ng.
Hi, JP.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's program and
It's my
for
pleasure.
accepting the invitation. I hear that from my friend. That's how I got to know you. You are a psychic tarot card reader. Can you explain
Yes,
what that
sure.
means?
All right, sure. JP, basically, in metaphysics, there are two types when it comes to tarot reading. In general, people regard tarot reading as something that is related to fortune telling, where we do prediction and then that's it, full stop. Whereas psychic tarot reading is more to understanding a person's issue or situation in a very
Okay.
brief manner. Then we begin to tell the story based on the tarot cards that are being laid out, show them what are the possibilities, and through the possibilities then they make their own decision based on their free will to actually achieve the best outcome for themselves.
This kind of tarot card reading, is there a specific type of tarot cards? Because I understand from my previous experiences with my friends,
Okay.
you have like tarot cards for the angels and many, many other things. So what type of tarot cards do you actually use?
I have quite a number of tarot cards actually. There are
Okay.
the angel ones, there are the dragon ones, there's mermaids ones, and so forth. So basically, it depends on the need at a point of time. For example, I have this deck called the Shadowscape Tarot card, where I use it for clients who have more of the emotional issue, and then
Okay.
we have the more colorful ones for clients who are likely to be more depressed. So when they are depressed, using the bright tone color tarot cards will help them to stay more focused. When I send a picture over, for example, if it is
Okay.
done through remotely, then they can actually see the vibrant color. So that helps them to feel better.
So they'll be asking you questions, and then from there you use tarot cards to give them advice.
Yeah,
Is
so
that what
through
you
the conversation, I determine which deck to use.
see? Well, that's very interesting. I'm wondering, how did you even get started with tarot card reading?
Okay. JP, so basically what happened was that it started off when I was much younger,
Hmm.
where one of my friends was actually having issue with her marriage. So we did not know what to do, and we heard of this tarot card reading. So I accompanied her to seek for some kind of advice. So back then I didn't know what tarot card was.
Okay.
And somehow the person asked a few brief questions and was able to point out what was really going on in the person's marriage. So from there, I felt fascinated, of course, and eventually I attended a very short course, I suppose in 2009. And then after that, of course, the rest was self-study. Basically, I was just doing pretty much of on a freelance basis, and eventually in 2014, I got a calling because I have not touched back prior to 2014. I have not touched tarot card for some time because of the life was actually getting busier, and as shared with you, the purpose of doing tarot reading was more like helping my friends. So 2014 itself, then there was an incident where the tarot cards were flipping through my mind, and I was not really able to sleep. So I suppose it was a calling.
So you
Yeah.
were saying that when you were trying to sleep, you kept having visions of tarot cards flipping through your mind.
Yes, correct. Because prior to that, during those times that before 2014, because when I moved house, I misplaced my tarot card already, so I didn't have a deck with me for some
Okay.
time. And in 2014, that's where the incident we mentioned a while ago happened, and then therefore it stopped when I purchased a tarot deck and a tarot cloth. I asked myself, oh, what should I do with this? Because I'm not really sure what is going to happen. I sat with the tarot card and the tarot clock for 5 hours, asking myself questions.
Okay.
Question of who am I, and then why should I be doing tarot reading? I don't really have a shop. I don't know how to write social media content and then things like that. So yeah, so at the end of the day, how I get started really to do tarot professionally is when I gotten my answer is the why, the big why of why I do tarot. Then the purpose was really to help out people, because the thing is, in the market there are quite a number of people who do tarot reading for the sake of financial gain, but
Okay.
there are not many people out there that is really doing for the sake of helping others sincerely. So I'm not able to save everyone, but the thing is, I feel that as long as I do my part, I can help at least the people that resonate with.
And how have you been doing this on a full-time basis?
Actually, it's still pretty much on a freelance basis. A freelance basis, because I receive requests every now and then.
Okay.
Started off June 2014 until right now.
What are the frequent questions, the very common questions that people ask you or come to seek for your advice?
Right, sure. JP, the common questions people ask will be mainly relationship. Relationship takes about 70 to 80%, regardless whether the clients are male or female. Of course, 20% around, I would just say 20%, about 15% will come for the career part.
Okay.
And probably the rest of the 5% will be very rare questions like their life purpose, maybe, and also probably the relationship among family members, and friendship, betrayals, and some other topics that are probably more unusual. Yeah.
Let's say if it comes to relationships, so would it be seeking advice on how to overcome certain obstacles in a relationship, or is it, what people actually come to you and say, oh, I want to have a girlfriend or boyfriend, what can I do? What kind of questions about relationships do they actually ask?
JP, basically, actually, you have summarized most of the questions. So,
These are common questions?
yes, the common questions. Because what happened is, some people they may have actually experienced a trauma in a relationship before. So then they have been single for all this while, but they, on a conscious level, they feel that they are ready to be in a relationship. They want to date someone.
Okay.
Then again, they are wondering, why are they not meeting anyone?
Okay.
Yeah, and of course, you can't just meet a person and just date a person. It has to, the feelings needs to be there, all right? Then, whereas more commonly is that most of the people, they usually come for tarot reading when they have made certain mistakes in the relationship and they want to reconcile. That is actually the most common one.
So what would the tarot card actually show? Usually, so let's say they want to make amends. Do they actually tell you how to make the amends?
Yes.
Or,
so we will take
they actually
baby.
do. Okay.
Yes, that's right. So there will be baby steps given to them, one step at a time, and see. Then they monitor and see how it goes. Tarot will also show what are the probability, as in the percentage of whether that will actually work. So we give an upfront possibility, and then the rest again is still up to their effort and action.
Have there been any cases where the tarot card reading actually shows that there's actually no hope, regardless of what the person does?
Correct, because when we ask the clients, usually we ask for very brief information. So when the cards are laid out, then we highlight to them that some things are just a little bit too late. Then again, it is actually very important to forgive the past and forgive whatever that has happened and move forward, so that they can actually embrace into a relationship probably that is more suitable for them.
Apart from these commonly asked questions, like you said, with regards to relationship, career, these are the two main ones. Are there any questions that you will actually not entertain, or that it's not possible for tarot card reading to tell you?
Yes, the thing is, there are certain things that we don't really read as a professional tarot reader. For example, we don't really read on court cases. Court cases is yes, that's right. Because when it comes to legal cases, there are just too many external influence, right from the lawyer, the representing lawyer, and also the lawyer that is actually to win. All right.
Mhm.
So, and then of course there are judges and so forth. So there are too many parties involved, which we will not be able to give a very accurate outline of whether the client will win the case or not,
With that specific lawyer
or the specific case.
or the specific case. Oh, I
Yes,
see. Okay.
probably if the person is very much ready to just explore the possibilities, then we can only lay out what are the possibilities. But tarot
Okay.
cards should not be used to dictate the winning of the case itself.
Okay.
And
All
then
right.
second of all, we don't really read on pregnancy, because pregnancy needs a male and a female to have physical intimacy in order to happen, because
Okay.
there are certain people who ask about pregnancy, but
Mhm.
they don't perform the physical activity, so it imposes a risk for us as tarot readers as well if they actually don't take action,
I
unless
see.
they are asking, they have been trying, they have been seeing doctors, none
Mhm.
of it helped. They would just like to know whether there's any more alternative possible on the energy level and things like that they can improve. Then
Mm.
this is in terms of general health, then we can advise. But other
Okay.
than that, we are not a certified medical practitioner, so the rest we will still refer them to the respective party. And
Okay.
of course, we don't really read for people for on gambling topics whereby they will ask whether they will actually they will strike 4D and things like that. That does not happen, because
Oh,
basically luck and karma merit actually they will depend on the law of cause and effect, on how the person cultivates them.
okay. Just out of curiosity, since you're talking
Right.
about lottery, so if I say, okay, I want to buy this number 1, 2, 3, 4, what are the chances of me winning? Would a tarot card be able to tell me?
Not exactly,
Exactly.
because the tarot card is actually delivering messages from the universe in general. So
Okay.
generally, the universe will not answer such question. But if you really want to cultivate abundance, how you can actually be better in terms of winning in life, and of course winning other opportunities, the universe will be more than happy to guide.
Guide as in how to succeed in a
In
specific
terms of
endeavor.
yes, and also to increase your luck cycle, so that
Oh, I
when you
see.
increase your luck cycle, when you happen to gamble, as long as you know your limit, then it's fine.
Oh, so the tarot card reading will actually advise you on what you can do to increase your luck.
That's right. But it also depends on the karma merit as well.
It depends on
The karma merit,
the karma merit. See.
yes, correct.
Okay.
And
What is this karma merit that you are referring to?
okay, that means because of the law of cause and effect, the
Mhm.
universe has a great big book. So there's a lot of misconception when it comes to karma, because
Okay.
people think the karma is something that when a person do bad things, karma should come back to them.
Okay.
But then again, karma is not something that as human beings, you or and I could actually dictate. It is
Okay.
a consequence that is derived from a person's action, belief, choices, and decision. So
Okay.
that will actually result to an outcome which is also part of destiny. Then it is a form of karma. So basically, it also depends on the good things they do and the not so good things they do, and
Okay.
eventually that will also affect the the luck cycle.
But you can
That's
actually
right.
overcome it, right? Based
Yes,
on
that's right. That's where if the person is really open to discuss about all this, then yes, we can actually do a reading on the matter.
Are there any other topics that you will actually not
Yes,
advise on?
the last one.
Yeah.
The last one, which is when will the person die? It is actually a taboo question, because the thing is, this is a mysterious question that no one can actually answer. Even no matter how you actually lay out the tarot card, no matter how many times we lay out the tarot card asking that question, there will be no accurate answer, because the
Okay.
universe will not entertain the kind of question.
So you're saying that the tarot card, that no matter what you do with the tarot cards, there's no answer coming out
Yes,
on
when
it.
it comes to that question.
Interesting. Do you
That's
know
right.
why, or do you have any idea why that is
No.
such a case?
That's a very good question, JP. So far, I have not known the specific reason on why this does not work. Somehow or other, when no matter how many tarot card readers out there try, it won't work, because no one is supposed to dictate when the person goes.
That's interesting. So, well, now that you're talking about mortality, well, we see right now we're going through the COVID-19 pandemic.
That's right.
So I was just thinking, well, perhaps, you may have some clients who are worried about their loved ones who happen to have, who happen to be sick and is in ICU with COVID, and they would like to seek your advice on what they can do do to this issue? Do you actually advise people on things like this?
If they are looking at something that they could probably do on the energetic level, example, to help them to increase good karma for the person, or to see what they can do on the energy level that they can be of support to the person. Because, for example, if I'm the family member of the client, for example, then of course, if I'm the client, then my family members is in ICU, because of course I am not really exactly allowed to,
Yes.
due to the situation. So on an energetic level, if the person wants to help in by any chance we can, and we can also read on the chances of survival. But again, we will not determine when the person will go away. If the person, even if the doctor say that, hey, this person may be left with 3 days, because
Okay.
this is based on their expertise, and this is not our calling to dictate when they will go.
But your tarot card reading, as you said, if I heard you correctly, you can actually tell them whether or not they will make it,
What are the chances of recovery?
or chances of recovery.
That's right.
When you say that you will actually help them, come up with ways on the energy level to increase chances of overcoming that health condition, can you tell us, what, for example, what are the ways that you can actually increase your
Okay, then yes, that's a very good question, JP. Basically, it will depend on the nature of the person.
Okay.
For example, recently I have a client. This is not something about the situation that is related to the family member having COVID-19, but then again, it is more of the nature of the person wanting to increase the energy level,
Okay.
because she feels that both herself and her family has been in a very dreadful situation. When we look at her nature through the cards, I noticed that her nature is towards art of imagination.
Okay.
Therefore, when we look into the cards, the proposed method by the universe was through the water manifestation.
Okay.
So that's where she will need to use the art of visualization when she showers. Every night before she sleeps, or every morning when she wakes up, then she can actually pour a cup of water into a glass, and then read out the affirmation on a specific area or the healing area that she wants to improve on, whether it is for herself or her family member.
Okay. So
That's right.
it's an affirmation.
Yes, it depends on the person's nature. So if the person is more of a logical person, does not actually work on what we call this imagination,
Okay.
then there will be different methods being used.
Okay. So the
That's right.
tarot card would actually determine what nature this
Yes.
person is, and then you will actually advise based on it. Oh, that's
Correct.
very interesting. I've never heard of that. I was told that you're a psychic tarot card reader. So what
That's right.
what does that mean exactly?
Okay, basically, psychic tarot reader is really to be able to understand the person's important points without the person. There are certain details that we pick up, but the person may not have actually mentioned when the person asked the question.
Okay.
Yes, so this is what psychic reading is all about. And also, psychic reading is pointing out the possibilities, but we are not determining the outcome. Is a definite outcome, because at the end of the day, the destiny or the outcome is actually derived from the client's free will.
So you're saying that
Yes.
your reading will be based on whatever shows up on the tarot card,
That's right.
and then you'll be using your psychic abilities to interpret what else is there based on the card.
Yes, or certain root cause of why what happens. For example, I have certain clients who are trapped in a relationship that they are not happy with,
Okay.
but they can't seem to get away from that person. It's not because of the toxic person stops them. It's because they don't even know what they can actually do about it. So we begin to, of course, we ask general question. It's like, how long have they been in the relationship? What roughly has happened, and the objective they would like to achieve. So for example, for this client from India, she's in Malaysia, she's an expat.
Okay.
So she didn't know why she was actually in love with a married person, and this married person is not very fond of her, and he will only entertain her when he needs her.
Okay.
So she felt that this is not the relationship that she wants, and she felt very hurt. It has happened for some time, and she gives in every time. So she wondered if there's anything psychologically incorrect with herself. Why is she allowing herself to be abused as such? And then when we dwell further, we notice that she actually shares karmic tie relationship with this married man in a past life, and then I point out certain things to her.
This actually showed up on your tarot card.
Yes. So it
Okay.
shows it was a more of a brief story of what happened to them, and then
Okay.
I related it to her, and then she came back to me and said, "Oh, no wonder when I actually meet this person, I started to have strange dreams, and this has been reoccurring for some time." And then she began to understand, and that's how she began to what we call this understood why what happened. And of course, there were action plans that were suggested to her to do. Then again, the action will be very dependable on her free will. Yes.
Did she actually follow your advice?
Yes, actually, what happened was based on the advice given by the universe in the reading itself was really to cut off contact. Of course,
Mhm.
when she is able to fully forgive herself and also forgive the other person, and she did the forgiveness every day, it was very difficult for her because of that emotional attachment.
Yeah.
And eventually, I suppose that within a month, she actually did it and she blocked the person. So
Oh.
she felt that she's now psychologically, mentally, and physically feeling much better.
Oh, that's great. Now, and apart from relationships such as this, are there any, let's say, a person has hauntings at home and the spirit keeps disturbing this person? Do they actually come to you to ask you questions like this, whether or not it is really a haunting or whether it's all in the mind, and what can they do?
Yes, and JP, basically this will be the questions that is remaining in the 5% we mentioned earlier, because 80% is we talk about relationship, 15% about career, then this will fall in one of the 5%. Then again,
Okay.
let's say if we are talking about haunting,
Yeah.
tarot card reading can help in pointing out whether it is really it's in the mind or was there any external influence, but we are not a medium, so we don't really
Mhm.
propose solution to remove the haunting. Yes, so we help them to determine.
Or whether or not it is a real haunting or whether it's a hallucination.
Yes, that's right. So if it is a real haunting, then we will just propose them to, as readers, I will propose them to seek for a medium that can actually help them with the situation. There are also people who are going through some luck cycle going down. Sometimes they are afraid that people might launch black magic on them. So this is more common in that sense. So I help them to actually determine whether it is actually in the mind, or is it is this their karma marine that has
Okay.
caused them to experience what they're experiencing, or was there any black magic involved?
And if there was black magic involved,
And if there's magic
yes.
involved, then they need to actually find someone who offers services to dispel the black magic.
And do you actually refer them to people who can actually dispel?
Not exactly, because the thing is, I do not know any of the people that dispel black magic yet. But let's say if it is actually a very mild situation where they can dispel themselves, then if any proposed solution by the universe, we will just read it as well. If we are talking about very mild, where by performing certain simple rituals by themselves, they can resolve it, then yes, they can do so.
So the tarot card would actually show that they can actually resolve it themselves if it's very
Yes,
mild.
if it is serious, then the tarot card will show as well that this is a serious case. Then we will urge them to find a solution as soon as possible.
Well, that's interesting. Another question is, what is the weirdest question somebody have asked you before for a tarot card reading?
Okay, weirdest question. There in 2017, there was this guy, a client. This was actually a very strange experience. Therefore, it was very eye opening. Okay, the guy was a human being integrated with the devil. We call it the Baphomet. Okay, so basically, the person asked exactly what was actually in the taboo question, and I had no choice but to proceed with the reading, no matter what. Okay,
When you say that the man was integrated with the devil, are you saying
that's
that
right.
he's possessed by a devil?
He allowed the devil to integrate.
Integration means to.
Integration means that actually the person, as in the soul level, is pretty much no longer a person. It is probably the devil that is actually living inside the
It's
body.
overtaken.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. So
Okay.
you encountered that.
Yes, but because when at the point of time when I did the reading for him, it looked very normal. Yes. So until he asked me questions in the setting, as in doing face to face tarot reading, then started to tell me that he was in a lot of pain, and everybody in his life caused him unnecessary pain. And then he told me how how he actually offer himself to the devil to exchange of the worldly things he wants. For example, money. What the weirder question was, he wanted me to read how long more will he be alive.
Oh, wow.
So basically, at the point of time, I could only provide a very indicative timeline to him. Yes, so that is probably the strangest question that I've ever come across in my tarot reading. And the downside is, after completing the reading for him, what happened was then my luck cycle went down the road for about 2 months.
Oh,
Yeah, because the energy was very strong. Because
okay.
just to share with you is that while I was reading for him halfway, he suddenly interrupted and asked me a very strange question by saying, "You are very difficult to be killed, aren't you?" So then after that, he began to laugh very loudly. And through his voice, there were three voices. The first voice was the human voice.
Mhm.
The second voice was a person with a higher pitch. And then which I suspect is the demon form. And then
Okay.
the third voice was a very masculine voice, but the echo was very strong.
Wow.
That is
And
where,
this person was actually sitting in front of you, or was it
yes,
during a conference call?
sitting in front of me.
Wow. And you
Yes,
said
so
that you're very difficult to kill.
yes, that's right.
Did that freak you out?
No, because the thing is, at the point of time, I believe that session was there was an intent of pulling my soul out of the reading table.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, I am very thankful that that did not actually happen. Yeah.
And how did you verify that this person wasn't suffering from, schizophrenia and had multiple personality disorder? How do you decipher that it was actually the demon or the devil that was actually integrated in the person's body?
Because JP, basically, if the person has a very complex mind, right, we will be able to determine when the moment we, as a reader, we ask the client's question.
Okay.
So then we determine whether the person is actually suffering from some kind of mental concern or not. Because this will also, it is also relatable by how the person asked the question.
So you would actually pick it up from the conversation, or you actually
Yes,
pick it
yes,
up from
that's
reading the
right.
card?
No, that is the essence of being a psychic reader. We use all our senses, the eyes, the ear, and our sensory the part of the body to actually sense whether the person is actually talking normally, or is there something that is actually off somewhere.
So you were very convinced based on your senses that you were actually talking to
The devil.
the devil itself.
That's right.
Wow. And
It was a very eye-opening experience because usually we will only see this in movies, but then again, when it happens, it's actually wow. Okay, and now I was very at the point of time I was a little bit afraid because the thing is I would think that the money he paid me will turn into something else.
I see.
Yes, that's
But
right.
you
Because,
said that, so you actually took his money, and then
yes,
after that you had a downturn of your luck for 2 months.
about 2 months.
2 months. And can you actually do tarot card reading on yourself?
Yes, I
And
can.
that's what you did. So did you? So what do you do to bring your luck up?
Of course, by identifying what actually affected the luck cycle,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was all baby step. Of course, there was some help along the way, and there are some friends who are also practicing tarot, and
Okay.
they just reminded me on every possible way to help. One of the ways that I've always find it very effective is through chanting, because I believe through chanting that actually expels a lot of energy that is unknown, undeserving, evil, or negative.
Do you mind sharing with us what chanting you actually do to help you?
Basically, it depends on at a point of time what I chant, because the chanting are usually Buddhism chanting.
Okay.
One of the one that I chant the most from the time that I wake up and until before I sleep will be Nam Mô Di Zang Wang Pusa, and sometimes I chant Om Mani Padme Hum. So
Okay.
yes, so through chanting, it helps you on the insight level, but the rest will still depend on your willpower, and also depending and sometimes salt water can actually also help to alleviate such situation, especially when it
Salt water.
salt water. As in, if there is any energy that is being disturbed by the unknown, what we call this unknown form, because the devil, we don't really know where the devil comes from. So we
Yeah.
don't even know the specific form that they're in. So yes, so if there's such intervention, then salt water is one of the basic things that we can actually do to help cleansing ourselves.
And what do you do with the salt water to cleanse
You
yourself?
just bathe with it. Yes.
Okay. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. I didn't expect you to tell me that you actually met the devil
Yes.
himself. Did he actually call you back after that
No,
that
because
incident?
the pledge, as in the agreement that we made, was that after the reading, we will never ever meet each other again this lifetime. That was the deal.
So you actually consulted him, telling him that that was the condition, or you actually made that condition before
He
he left?
actually informed me before he left.
Oh, have you ever wondered why he would actually say such a thing?
No, I have no idea.
But I guess you were glad that leaving you alone.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Wow. It's been very enlightening. I didn't know that you can actually do so much with tarot cards. We have another guest. It's one of my
Okay.
friends, Miss Cynthia
Right.
Lee. So I thought it would be interesting if she can actually do a reading with you.
Of
So
course,
can
of
we?
course.
Yeah. So can we please have Cynthia? Hi, Cynthia. So you heard all
Hello.
that.
Yes.
I hope the devil has not integrated with you.
Maybe after this.
That will be very, very interesting for tonight's program.
Sure. So Cynthia, probably you can actually share with me on what you would like to ask tarot today, because basically tarot is one of the tools that I actually use to deliver or channel messages from the universe.
Yeah.
So yes, so you can ask any questions except for the ones that I'm not really able to do, which is for court cases, pregnancy, and 4D, as in gambling. And then, of course, the taboo question is when one is going to pass away. I suppose why my JP, by the way, but I suppose why my luck went down the drain was because I read on the taboo question.
I see.
Yeah, because the person practically asked me how long more does he have.
And you said you gave him an indicative.
Even indicative is
timer.
actually not supposed to do. Yes, but in that situation, I was not left with much of a choice because the energy was quite overpowering. So yeah, so Cynthia, other than the ones that I've mentioned, you can ask me question that you would like to chat with the
I think that probably the biggest question nowadays is, how do I actually, what can I consider to do to get my health on track?
Okay. So other than this COVID, right, currently in terms of your health, is there any situation or condition that you are experiencing?
I don't have major issues, but I guess don't look at my age. I mean, my look and all that. We are getting old. I don't do like much of anything else. Like exercises and all that. So yeah, it will be. I mean, yeah, as we age, it would be good to do something lah, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Cynthia, in that case, I suppose that will be enough. I will need you to, because tarot itself is a 78 card system. So because right now we are it's live streaming, therefore of course you will not be able to the card physically. Therefore, I need you to provide me with 3 numbers ranging from number 1 to number 78. So for example, 3 numbers, my number will be number 6, number 18, and number 77.
This is according to like whatever I like?
Yes, that's right.
Whatever that comes into my mind first.
Yes, that's right.
What comes from? Okay. 4, 14,
14,
and 66.
Okay, 4, 14, 66. So we will just start drawing the card. Let me just show you. 1, 2, 3, 4. I will draw the first card. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, okay, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. So 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66. Okay. So Cynthia, there will be three cards drawn earlier as based on the numbers that you have actually picked, and I have actually helped you to project the reading as the first card is what is the health or the in terms of your health, what is the situation that you need to actually look at. All right. The second card will be the action plan. The third card will be the advice invest. So let me just show you the first card. All right. So this is actually shown as the the Knight of Swords. All right. Reverse.
Okay.
Okay. So for this, right, you need to be able to take good care of your lung. As of now, your lungs will be the weakest point in your body. So probably this may have actually gone through your subconscious mind to your conscious mind in understanding this. Therefore, we will have this particular card shown. It's because this is the air element card. The sword card is the air element in the minor cards in tarot card. So that definitely lung is the first thing that you look at. So you need to perform mindfulness breathing. That is the first thing. Yes. So second of all,
JP Tong.
yes. So secondly, you need to actually be in touch with more towards nature. So the universe is asking you, if possible, you need to actually perform morning walk about an hour a day. Why an hour? Because you see, in this particular card here is represented by one sword. So it's just one journey. So that indicates 1 hour. Okay.
1 hour. Okay.
Yes.
Evening cannot.
Is the best to do it in the morning, but evening, if that is feasible, then as long as you commit 1 hour a day, I suppose that will actually strengthen your whole body system. Okay. The second thing that you need to, in terms of action plan, all right, your action plan is your immune system. So if possible, Cynthia, increase your intake for supplement, because the thing is yes, because your immune system in terms of this is a little bit low. That is also reflected by your what we call this your rest hours. Your rest hours, according to this particular card, inadequate, and you are a person with a very fascinated mind. Therefore, you tend to actually think a lot, and this overthinking will actually what we call this interrupt in your sleeping system. So you imagine this guy right now, you can see that the person is actually reversed, still taking care of a lot of things. Many people are actually blessed to have you in their life because you like to take care of people. But the thing is, the art of taking care of people, you need to be that pillar that stands strong. Because if you collapse, then the people that you take care will not benefit from it as well. So you need to be able to look into your sleeping pattern. And then what happened is you need to, if possible, this one you can actually use sound therapy to help you with sleeping. So if you have any singing bowl, you can actually play some YouTube and see how people play with the melody. Probably you can actually 10 to 15 minutes before you sleep, you can just play around with the sound, then make sure the vibration is clear, then you can actually go into a deeper sleep. And also remember, the most important thing is still what you take into your body, the sleeping, the supplement. So if you have trouble with sleeping, then you see this, you can actually go to the pharmacy and ask for melatonin. So that will actually help you to sleep.
I was actually considering that, interestingly.
Yeah, because what happened is, so if you actually take the what we call this the the medicine from the clinic, where those muscle relaxant, if you take on a wrong run, you actually damage your stomach.
Okay.
Yes. So, and then the thing is advice from the universe. Okay.
Yeah.
The thing is, Cynthia, you have another nature because you care a lot of about people, and therefore you are always worried about the future. The thing is, the future is what you co-create every day. The future is a timeline that actually does not exist. It is actually very much fed by the society that we need to live for our future. It's good to have some planning. For example, for this particular session, it was actually planned. So we actually executed today. And therefore, I got the privilege to meet you. So what happened is, so the thing is, there is no need to worry, because the thing is, this particular card is showing you that you are doing great every day. So there's no need to be over expecting yourself. Otherwise, you will actually trigger a lot of anxiety, which explains why your lungs are weak because of the lack of immune system. And this is also because your mind is always very tired. So when your mind is very tired, then how would you be able to create breakthrough that you want to create, that you want to actually create? And it will just add on to unnecessary anxiety. Then it comes back to the base where it affect your sleep cycle and then bring down your immune system. But in terms of COVID, you as long as you do the necessary precaution, you'll be fine, because I don't see the possibility of you getting infected unless you did not make any change into your lifestyle. Then definitely there will be a risk there.
Yeah, especially if the lungs is weak.
Yes, that's right. So this will actually conclude the reading. So do you have
Yeah.
any questions for me?
No, the anxiety thing actually.
Right.
I mean, it is real. I mean, the other two parts. It was something that I was considering, anyways.
Okay.
And aside from not be so worried, what else can I do to actually? Okay, don't say join detox your mind with JP Tao.
If you
Well,
want
this maybe practice awareness, what mindfulness breathing. So perhaps that will help.
So basically, right, Cynthia, because the thing is, we need to understand the future. Time is actually lucid. The future does not exist. It's actually something that we co-create every day. So that will actually become your future. But because as human beings, we always have unrealistic expectation of how we're gonna be, how should be by the timeline. So we stress ourselves out. But the thing is, when we plan for our future, it's like, for example, I plan 5 days time I'm going to do a live video, then that's it. I stop there. I would not go and think at how this is going to happen. What if it does not turn out well and things like that, because I know that if I don't do anything, then nothing can be done. But at least if I do something, then definitely it will be done. So the thing is, you need to be very present with yourself, because the thing is, one more thing is not to live in the past, because you have the tendency sometimes to before you sleep to also wallow in certain things in the past, because the past cannot be fixed. So you need to be able to learn to forgive yourself and forgive the past, because the past can no longer affect you and haunt you. Then the future is not something that is actually that we can see or touch. Therefore, it is what when you ask yourself every day, there are a few questions here you can ask yourself. So this will actually help you to combat your anxiety. You ask yourself, this based on this particular card, in the process of doing what you do, what do you have to lose? If there's nothing to lose, then that's it, leave it. Or if there's nothing to lose, then do it. Okay, then second of all, what if it is doesn't turn out the way that I want? So the thing is, you need to be very clear in your objective. What is it that you want? Then when you have a very clear objective, then this will eliminate your unnecessary worry. And then the third one is that am I actually fearless enough? Because fearlessness is something that is very subjective to everyone. It's like people ask, do you fear ghosts? The real fact is ghost is harmless. But people want, you should really fear demon. They should really fear devil, because those are very overpowering beings that can possess people, that can take over people and things like that. But then again, do we actually live in such a worry? We don't, because the thing is, otherwise what is projected in the conscious mind will go into the subconscious mind. Eventually it becomes a reality. Yeah, so the thing is, when you just need to know this, when you worry, our mind works like this, where our eyes are like projectors doing the live streaming. Now your live streaming is your life, so all that you feed into your mind will go into your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind will then project the reality. So therefore, when you worry about things, usually in different timeline, according to the universal timing, it will happen according to the things you worry. So when you ask yourself, okay, example, I worry that this live video will not turn out well. So if I worry already, what can I do about it? If there's something that I can do about it, great, I'll do something about it. If not, then I choose not to worry, because even if I worry, nothing will actually change. Yeah. So these are the things that you can probably try. Another thing that I always do when it comes to alleviating, because I'm also a person with very mild anxiety sometimes. I will admit that as much as I combat anxiety and also practicing mindfulness every day, I still struggle sometimes. So when I struggle, another method that you can use, because remember, the universe mentioned that you need to be in touch with nature. So what I do is that I buy tea, tea with tea bags. Then I take out the tea leaves and then I put on my shower gel and I scrub with them. That will actually also help alleviating anxiety. But that will actually depend whether that works on you, because it will depend really on your nature. Like me, I'm also a person where I can actually work very closely with nature. So since it is MCO, my best option is to stay home. So tea is derived from nature, from Mother Earth. So that is the thing that I can actually help myself when it comes to alleviating my anxiety.
Okay.
I hope the information helps.
Yes, it does.
Does that make sense? You're going through a lot of anxiety, Cynthia?
Yeah, somebody mentioned when we were at a class the other day. There's what's from a question that I asked. It was actually anxiety, and then about this lung thing. Like last year, I actually had lung infection.
Oh wow.
Yeah, quite bad, because I actually went to emergency for the what I call it, the thing like the breathing.
Nebulizer. Yeah.
Nebulizer. Yeah, that was my last big kind of sickness lah. Then after that was lockdown, so it was okay. Yeah, because stay in most of the time, don't see people. Yeah.
I'm glad you actually recovered. Thank goodness.
Yeah. So then this walking thing. Actually, I was advised by Ripoche, my guru, to actually take my dog for a walk every day.
Yes. So basically, Cynthia and JP, this is the art of psychic reading, where this information was not shared by Tia prior to me opening the card.
I didn't even know, Nikalaos. I had no idea that she was hospitalized. I had no idea she had a lung infection. That's why I was like, oh,
Okay.
And I just found out right now. Wow.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, it was last year, I think, before. Yeah, after coming back from Nepal.
Oh, from Nepal, yeah. Yeah, so I guess you have to walk more then. You can join me because I do walk around.
I'm supposed to go in the morning, which I cannot wake up.
Well, it's because you are suffering from insomnia because of anxiety. So I guess, with melatonin, it will help you. And your mindfulness breathing will help you. Well, you
and don't forget sorry to interrupt. Don't forget the singing bowl as well.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, I have. I just have to bring it. Yeah. Oh yeah, that one can just play the music, right? Yeah.
That's
that makes sense. Yes, vibrations.
Yes,
some healing vibrations. Yeah.
Zero.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the it will the vibrations will actually help you kind of relax.
Because I was also thinking of I was researching on this melatonin thing, because I can sleep very long time, but I don't actually get good deep sleep. So when you mentioned that, also like, oh, maybe I should try that.
Yes, because melatonin is basically harmless to the health. It's just a form of supplement.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Cynthia. Thank you very much, Nikalaos. That was an eye opener. I've never experienced this myself. In the past, it was just going to my friend's house, and then over dinner party, they would come out with the angel tarot card rat. It was all for fun. But I've actually not observed it done professionally like how you did. All of us have actually learned about how this psychic tarot card reading works, and it's just one of the many things that people do on a holistic spiritual level. So, and if that actually is something that is of interest to you, perhaps you may want to try it out. Yeah. So I will be doing more interviews throughout to actually explore and find out what other people are doing in terms of how they can actually heal people and help others using ways that are not very conventional. But I guess it's something that when we have an open mind, we can actually explore, and with an open heart as well. So on that note, thank you very much for tuning in for today's session. And again, I thank our guest for joining me tonight, and I hope to see all of you soon again. Thank you. Bye-bye.